Hello, and welcome back to Strongwoman Highs - Life is a Mishmash. Me and Jenny are too lazy to drive to see each other, so we're doing this online now.
We live so far away from each other. So
Well, it is actually at least a full hour for either of us to get to the other one, and therefore that travel time bites into our podcasting time, so we're going to try this
not
instead. Not on, nah. We'll see if this works.
Way.
Yeah, we're going to do the lazy way, see if this works, if it's any good. To be honest, I don't think the sound quality the last time we did this was so horrific. So if the sound quality is all right, then it is what it is. And you get to see our faces if you're watching on YouTube. So
yay!
But it's just me staring at the bottom of my screen. Standard. But anyway, well, we're back. We're back with an actual proper podcast because we are finally together and we actually have some strong woman things to talk about, which is absolute miracle. Only a little bit. If you like our agenda that I wrote out quickly here, this shadow in the background also is a skeleton, by the way, in case anyone was concerned. He's in the corner over there, but he's just been reflected nicely into the back of my screen. Lovely. But yeah, this is our agenda. Running. It's not spooky. Running, Brits, Rogue, Silly Goose. That's the aim of the game today. We'll see if we get it all done. We'll see if it uploads because your internet looks like it's working fine. Mine obviously is not because when does it? So
it doesn't. It's using every single ounce of energy it's got, which is nothing.
I've literally turned everything else off in my house so that the sole focus of my internet is this, and it's still shit.
You can't stop everybody on the A1 using it, though, can you?
Nah.
Even.
Just put some signs outside saying, please turn off your data. I need the mast. The mast is fine. Leave my mast alone. But yeah, cool. So, on to our first agenda of the day, running. You are officially an ultra marathoner. How do you feel?
I am. I feel no different.
Not feel like the ultimate most fittest person in the world now because you can just run further.
Not at all, no. I mean, it's just, I don't know, I don't feel any different. It's nice to have that clarified that I can go that far consistently and keep moving. Like, I didn't stop at all. I think elapsed time and moving time there was only about 12 minutes that I was actually not moving. Yeah. Yeah, everything just went to fucking plan. And what can I do now except more?
More running. Let me run further. Well, for people who didn't know, so how far did you? It was 40 miles, wasn't it? 42? 42?
Yeah,
41?
it was the Chalklands Way, which is in the Yorkshire Wolds. It was a path, like a circular path around Pocklington that was kind of created about 30 years ago. Yeah, I think this race was the 30th anniversary of its creation.
Nice.
And there was about 1,500 meters of elevation across the 40 miles. It was really nice. The Yorkshire Wolds I've not been to before, because I've got the moors and then the dales around your neck of the woods. Why would I go to the Wolds? But it turned out
too many things in there.
They're canny though. Like they're really weird. The Wolds. Really weird and bumpy, and there's all these tiny little valleys. Like the hills are not that high, but they're so enclosed on you when you're moving through the valleys. Like it felt like you were on a different planet for some reason.
I think it's a bit hobbity over there, isn't it? Like a bit hobbity.
It is, yeah. It was lovely. It was absolutely class. I nailed everything. There's nothing that I could have done differently except maybe, oh my God, every single time I go for a long run, I forget to cut my toenails and I did it again. But there was no disasters, so
I feel like that's the most important part as well. Like, how do you forget this?
it came to the morning of it, and I should have done it like earlier in the week, and then I was rushing, my hands were sweaty, and I was like, oh, they look fine. I'll just file them a little bit and then carry on. I wrapped up one of my toes that was causing me problems, and then I just stuck a load of foot lube on the rest of them, and it was fine. No big problems.
What are they like now?
Sounds like everything now is recovered. I've got a little bit of strain in my left hip flexor. My knees are still a little bit tender if I was to, like, I don't know, do a fucking slut drop, which I don't, by the way. I've never done that in my life. But if I was going to do that, I'd probably expect my knees to explode. So I'm
That
not
feels like
going
a
to.
thing. I need to write this down so that I'll get you to do one at some point. So you didn't lose
No, I
any
don't want
toenails
to.
or anything?
No, no. So honestly, like they're absolutely fine. There's not a problem at all. They were a bit sore, like ring finger toes, the
Yeah.
the second to outside one. Both of those because they kind of curl under slightly. They're weird. They're kind of turned like that.
And
Um,
touch the
the
other one.
side of the nail got a little bit angry, but
Mm.
they're not tender to touch anymore. And I remember after that T round attempt, they were black.
Yeah, mangled.
I had four toes that were black. Yeah,
Great.
just burped. I hope everybody could hear that.
Probably, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
everyone. Oh well, that was good. Um, I've got a lot of questions for you. So, how long did it take?
Okay, it took 8 hours and 38 or 39 minutes.
8 hours 38 is fast. What was your like time per minute mile? You won't know because you'll do it in fucking kilometers, won't you?
No, no, after you and Ben berated me on that Teesdale way, I've turned Strava onto miles, so you
Hell yeah,
public a bit of yeah, bit of peer pressure, it works, doesn't it? So
as it should.
I changed it to miles. I averaged 12.5 minute miles.
That's very good for an ultra. That fast.
I'd set the goal as I wanted to, like, for a really good fucking push. I wanted 12-minute miles and I wanted to finish it in 8 hours. But
Yeah,
realistically, you've got to extend that a little bit. But I don't think I felt like it's weird because I know had I not been in a race setting, I'd not have pushed as hard as I did. But
yeah,
also, I only pushed as hard as the next person in front of me was going. And me in this last, like I owe pretty much the performance that I put out on Saturday down to this woman, June. Jude, hey
Jude.
Jude, as the Beatles song goes. Yeah, she was just perfectly matched really to a pace that I could match. And I didn't trust myself to navigate it by myself. She had a Garmin watch on. It was well waymarked, but in sections it was really, really scarcely marked. So I'm
Yeah,
pleased that she was there kind of charging the way. Um, so I think it's like chasing somebody made that easier for me to push myself. I think if she hadn't have been there, if I was doing that route by myself, I would have taken ages. I would not have
yeah.
gone that fast. Um, so yeah, you live and learn, don't you? First race that I've done. So
Hell yeah. Did you find it quite easy to continuously run for that amount of time, or were you trying to
yeah,
walk a lot?
yeah. I I tried to run all of the flats that I could and all of the downs, but some of the flats were just impossible for me to be able to be stable enough to run on.
Right.
A lot of it was just, you know, going around the edges of farmers' fields where the mud's all built up a little bit, so it's really unstable and bumpy.
Yeah.
And it was harder. It was tiring me out running, and I couldn't run fast on it. I was probably running about the same speed that I would walk it, and
Yeah.
walking was just so much easier, so I just stuck with that. But no, like I ran consistently apart from the climbs and some of the difficult flats. And I,
Yeah.
I like walked out of the checkpoints as well. Like I just didn't want to hang around in them because it was too peoply and they were all like
Yeah.
making conversation. I didn't care. I just
Same here.
wanted a cup of Coke, fill my bottle up, and get a packet of crisps and go. So I just ate my crisps, walking out of the checkpoint, and then started running when I'd swallowed the last bit and put the bag away.
Hell
It was
yeah.
just, it was just fucking fine,
What was your
It was
food like
fine.
when were you all right eating on the way around? Because I know that was a struggle last
Yeah,
time, wasn't it?
it was, but last time it was a struggle because I didn't set the reminders on my phone and
Yeah.
it just threw me off, trying to remember every 30 minutes to eat without an indicator that it's been 30 minutes because time just stops, doesn't it, when
Yeah.
you're doing stuff like that. And if you were looking at your clock all of the time, it would go even slower. So as soon as the whistle had gone, I set a 30-minute timer on my watch and it just buzzed. And every time it buzzed, I had something to eat, or I had a gel, or I at least had a good glug of water with electrolytes in it.
Yeah.
And everything was fine. Everything settled on my stomach reasonably well. I think I might have gone a bit over the top with gels to start with. I just stuck to gels for the first few hours, for
Mm.
like 3.5 hours, and then I ate solid food after that. But it had started to rift on me a bit, like, you know, I was burping a lot because I was having Coke
Mm.
at the checkpoints, and then I'd be, oh, no.
They like that.
Um, they did, didn't they? So I burped a lot and made a lot of bubbles, just like that just happens with the thumb in it, and then a bit of sick kept coming up, and I was just like,
Oh
oh no, I don't want to be sick. I don't want to waste all of those calories. That's annoying. So
nah.
I just settled down a bit and ate actual real food, but I was having the gels when I was running, so that might have also not helped because it's easier to
Yeah.
do in it.
I think the gels are good, aren't they? But I think you almost like, I think if you set off on the gels, I feel like Ben uses them almost as like a last resort when it's like starting to get hard
Right.
for real food. Like, and you're like, fucking hell, I'm not going to be able to do this. Just bang a gel in instead. Because it's
Yeah.
like Lucozade, isn't it? Where you're drinking your calories and carbs and shit.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it went really well. What was your favourite food while you were running? What was your best thing that you ate?
Kit Kats. I really enjoyed my Kit Kats. They were so
Love
good.
Kit
They were
Kats.
delicious. They were just really easy to eat. Like I didn't want to chew too much on stuff, and I really enjoyed my Baby Bells. I had Baby Bells.
Oh, I like a baby bell me. Just tasty cheese,
Yeah.
that, isn't it? Tasty cheese.
It's fucking nice. It's all happy, and it's been in the front of my bag, and it was all warm, so it was
Warm
extra
cheese.
tasty. Jenny
Delicious.
temperature cheese, yes, American cheese. It's so nice.
And then what was it like when you finished? How did you feel when you finished it? How tired were you?
Oh, yeah, really fucking tired. Just standing was a little bit difficult to do. I kept swaying, and Richard would put his arm out to try and catch me. I was like, no, I'm not going to fall over, but I should probably sit down. And I think I went to bed at about 8 o'clock, something like that. I had a bath, um, I had a few beers, and
Nice.
ate my dinner, and then went to bed because we were done by about 5. We were
Yeah, it
back in
was
the
good timing
Airbnb
that.
for 5:30. Yeah, really nice. Made it just in time for sunset. It was getting dark by the time I came back in. My friend Amy was there. She was looking after me. Like, it took me down, or I drove down, and she was driving me to the venue and picking me up and stuff.
Yeah.
She's a good mum. I'd very much recommend if anybody could hire Amy as their bag bitch. She's excellent, but she can't carry much. She's got a dodgy stack. But
I feel like she'd be a
yeah,
good
she
looker
was
after
it.
her.
She is, and she's no bullshit either. She doesn't mollycoddle you. She just,
Yeah,
yeah, gets on with it and tells you to show.
yeah.
Richard met me he showed up for the last half mile, and really took me by surprise. He shouted my name, and it didn't make sense because nobody knew me. And
Who's
my
this?
name's on my back, and he was in front of me. I was like,
What?
because I wasn't making eye contact with anybody. I was just looking at the road and running. And I just said, "Oh, it's you," and that was it.
Oh, hello.
Felt really bad, but he said, "No, I totally get it." Nobody was really with it at that point. So,
Nah.
and then he ran in, and I said, "You're gonna have to disappear because I'm not allowed to run with anybody who's not in the race. I'll be
Yeah.
disqualified." So he
Yeah,
fucked
don't
off.
disqualify me in the last half mile. That would be
No,
bad. This is a nice surprise, but you've
no.
really ruined it.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. You fucked it. You've absolutely fucked the job. What a dick.
Oh,
But
that
no,
was
it was
nice.
lovely. I'm really chuffed with it, mate. And I can only like I don't know how hard that would have been for me had I not done the T round failed attempt. Fuck
Mm,
my life. There is nothing I have ever done in life that has ever been as challenging as what I did that day. That was fucking atrocious. It was
yeah.
horrible. So difficult. Ah,
But do you think it was? I think that was the most difficult thing you'd done at that moment in time, though, for like the training that you'd put into it. I think if you had done that
mm,
before, you would maybe have a different perspective of how hard this one was. Because, like, you sort
yeah,
of like, oh yeah, it was easy, like it was fine, it was no bother. But you did run continuously for like what, over 8.5 hours, and I think for most
yeah.
people that would be the hardest thing ever. But it probably means now that like you'll build up you so much better now for your next attempt at the T round that's going to feel like I think it'll feel easier. Like I
I
don't
hope
think
so,
you're
because
going to go
if it
into it
feels as
thinking
hard
like
as that did, if I put more effort into my training and preparations and it still feels as hard, I'll just jump off the
type.
top of high styles.
I'll just call it a day. Fuck
Yeah, I'll
this.
just
Fuck these
I'm
fell
gone. I'm
runs.
gone,
This
guys.
is
Yeah,
shit.
fuck off. Aye.
Nah, I think next time you do T round, you'll smash it. What's your plan now then? When's the next attempt at T round next year?
I'm assuming the group that I did it with last time wants to do it again, probably in the springtime. I'm still in two minds whether I want to do it with them or set up something with Ben and his lot.
Yeah.
See if anybody else wants to do it with us. Uh, just to have a smaller group of a bit more like-minded people rather than ex-army people.
Yeah, I think when you're in a bigger group with a few like lads and stuff, it is harder because I think if you were gonna do it with Ben and that, they'd try and get you around it. Whereas I think if
Mm,
you're like not if people aren't coming to help you to run it, it's a bit of a different
yeah.
scenario, isn't it? You feel like you have to keep up with them, whereas if you've got support trying to get you around it,
Mm.
it's a little bit easier, isn't it?
Well, I think that was the biggest problem. It was pushing the pace to keep up with the faster boys, and there
Yeah,
was two very distinctly different groups. And really, I think it should have been approached like that. You know, here's the fast group, here's the slow group. This is the captain of fast group, this is the captain of slow group, and
yeah,
we'll get over the line whenever, and then the other ones
yeah,
can push a little bit harder. But it felt an impossible task because we were going way too fast too soon. Like the first 5 or 6 kilometers, like getting out of Keswick was at 6 minute kilometers, and that was just too. I can't sustain that.
no, and it's
That's
hard to pull back from
terrifyingly
that, innit?
fast.
That's
Yeah,
like if you're going out
because
for a 3 or 5K run, innit?
yeah. Oh my God, no, 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 no. So
You just
yeah, I know
don't
exactly
burn
what I
out.
want to work on for next time, and it's definitely instilled this enjoyment that I've got for being outside and running. Whether I do another actual race or not, I don't really care. Because it's not about that for me. It was just testing myself and having a reason to test myself and seeing a different part of the country that I've not seen before.
Yeah.
Because I
Do
like
you know
being
what?
outside.
Do you know what would be a good one that we should maybe look at? I don't know why I'm saying me. The chance of me running 50 miles is slim to none. But Ben told me about one the other day. Oh no, have I lost you now? I haven't. It's still working. Just we're on the borderline. Um, there's one called the Heriot Way that I don't actually think has anything to
Oh
do with
yeah,
James
okay.
Heriot, but I'm sure it's 50 miles, and I don't think it's a lot of elevation. but that looks pretty good. Ben was talking about it, so that might be an option. I'd
Yeah, that'd
like
be
to
lovely,
eventually
mate.
get to running a 50 miler, but I think I'll just die before that point. Death.
Let's do something shorter first, eh?
Start with a half marathoner.
Yeah, the
We'll
Moonlight
see.
one.
We'll see if that. I had a look at that one that you sent me, the Moonlight one, and it starts
Mm.
at like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Well, that can't be right. So I'll send you another one, the one that's actually at night time.
Find the nighttime one and send me that, because the one I saw was the Hampsterley Forest one, but that was definitely the start time was daytime, not nighttime. Because I thought, how
It
are we going to see the
says
moon?
Moonlight. Why would it be called Moonlight if it started at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning? Stupid.
Maybe it's because it was just
Anyway,
cold.
have you
Anyway,
been doing any running lately, Baldy?
no,
Are
I've
you
not.
faster with no hair?
Um, no, I'm not. I thought I would be, and I'm definitely not. I also got my head tattooed. For anyone who hasn't worked that out yet, that
If I
was
can see
fun.
that through the potato.
Yeah, if you can see that through my potato film. But I mean, I shaved it off last night again a little bit so it was more visible because it'd
Yeah.
grown that fast. You couldn't see it anymore. And I was like, well, that was a nice 9 days of head tattoo. So I need to get more out of it. So I shaved it off again, much
Aye.
to my
Good
mum
lad.
and Ben's dismay. But I actually quite like it. I feel like this is a good vibe. I'm going to keep it for a while, I think. I
It
keep
suits
saying,
you, mate. I really like it.
yeah, see, I like it. I like getting out of the shower and my head's not being wet. Like, it just dries
Mm.
instantly. That's ideal. Hats fit me much better now. Um, I don't have sweaty hair in my eyes. The benefits are endless, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to keep it for a little bit because I like it. But yeah, so I have been. What have I been doing? Oh, Brits. I did Brits on Saturday, and that was really good. I think I've been a bit bitchy about. I was going to say official strongman. It wasn't official strong. Well, it was official strongman, but it was Unbreakable
In association with,
Promotions.
wasn't it?
Yeah, same but different. Um, but yeah, I've ripped at Unbreakables quite a lot and Fit Expo because like before the event they posted the wrong comp and called us all men, and then like we just had a bit of a chew on with sorting the weigh-ins and all that sort of debacling. But yeah, so I'd been a bit of, maybe a bit too much on socials. But we went to weigh in on Friday. Unfortunately, that didn't go quite as planned because there was nobody there. So we got there at 10
Hard
to
to weigh in
9.
without somebody there.
Less than ideal usually. And I'd done a pretty
Yeah,
big weight cut. I'd gone from 85 and a half down to under 82 in like 2 days, I think. Joe had done a
yeah.
decent weight cut. I think there was a few of us that had done pretty big weight cuts. So weight cuts are a funny thing, aren't they? Because if you get told a certain time at a certain place and it isn't that certain time and certain
You're
place,
ready for that.
yeah,
Mm.
it's very bad. Like I'd had to get in the bath again on the Friday morning because I knew I wasn't going to make the weight because I was just over on my scales. So I had to get back in the bath. So I was already like just sweaty and bothered and not very happy. And then we got there and there was no one there. So I was ready to start like throwing fists, to be honest. I was furious.
Naturally. Mm.
But someone rocked up at 10 past 9 with a set of scales that then didn't work. So that was a bit annoying because they weighed Nicola Buchanan at 49 kilos, which she definitely isn't in the nicest of ways. I think she was aiming for 73, but yeah,
Come
so
on, guys. What are you doing?
we had to sack them off. And luckily, one of the other girls had a set of scales, digital scales that she was been using. So we started weighing in
Yeah.
on them. The other point to note was we thought we would be in like a private room in a hotel, which we weren't. I think they were weighing in powerlifters for Fit Expo as well, but that did then mean
Mm.
that there was men and women that were strangers in that room with us, and I was really close. Like I couldn't weigh in clothed. I was down to bra and pants. And to be honest, I
Yeah.
mean, I weighed in bang on 82 kilos, and I thought, well, I could take my undies off and get underneath, but I am in a room of strangers, and that's a strong start in it. So
Right.
yeah, luckily they let me get away with bang on 82. But yeah, it was a bit. it needed to be a little bit better organised that way in. It was a little bit, if you'd been a person who was uncomfortable in that situation, that would have been a really highly uncomfortable situation for you to be in.
Mm,
So that wasn't ideal, which obviously I called out straight away on Instagram because I had no patience at that
naturally.
moment in time.
Which nobody does when they've been water cutting as hard as you were, and some people will have been doing it even harder. Like,
Yeah, 100%. Well, I
don't
think
make it
everyone
more
was,
dangerous than it has to be. Be
yeah,
there on
everyone was
time and have
just a
skills
bit
ready.
fucked off. Yeah, like you could have got there. Like it's not a lot to ask, is it? Yeah, you were going to be there for 9 a.m.
No,
anyway. Just get there for 8:30. Make sure the scales work.
and
If
put
you
a
don't,
fucking sheet up, like if
yeah,
it's
have a
going to
little
be in a big
screen
room
or
with loads of
something.
people, discretion. Come on, nobody needs to see that.
Yeah, just like little minor changes that I feel weren't thought out. And with how much I'd already kicked off about the fact we didn't have a 24-hour weigh-in, when they then changed it, you would have hoped that they would have then gone, let's make sure this weigh-in is bang on because she's probably going to
Yeah,
boot off again, which obviously I did, so lesson
yeah.
learned anyway. So
Mm.
yeah, so I will say I was not expecting much from comp day. I mean, you've done expo comps before, I've done expo comps before. Usually they're shit, aren't they? And we all
They're
hate
not
them.
great. Yeah,
But it actually went fairly smoothly. So we got there at 9. I did make a bit of a joke. Well, we'd got there just before 9 because the athlete briefing was at 9. I had made a bit of a joke because the athlete briefing didn't start till 9:05. So I was going to kick off, but I thought, nah, best not. But yeah, we did athlete briefing. That was fine. Then we started at 10:30 and we were finished by 2:30. 5 events.
that's a really fast-paced comp. That's
It was
excellent.
it was really good. I couldn't believe it. Like we did the deadlift, and they were like, "Right, you've got 10 minutes. We're doing log," and like they were on the minute. Like we're out again. Like you had there was no
Wow.
time to mess about, no carry on. We had a bit of a break between, was it log and dinnies, while the lads did the dumbbell walk or whatever. And that was like the biggest break, but that was only like half an hour. Wasn't big,
Yeah.
wasn't a massive break. We had plenty of warm up kit, which was good. I know the Masters whinged about it the next day because, well, actually, it was fairly fair whinging because I think they only got 220 kilo warm up on a deadlift for a 300
Mm,
kilo starting weight.
yeah, that's
So
no good.
yeah, but we didn't have any issues like that. And as well, like there was only maybe 20 athletes, 25 athletes in total for the women.
Yeah.
So it like warm ups were easy. We got through them really fast. We
Mm.
got through the events really fast. The events were all well run. I actually couldn't complain at all about the comp day. And I went and spoke to Eddie and told him that because I think he thought I was a bit of a bell end, which is fair enough too. So I did apologise and say, like, well, your comps ran very well. I'm very pleased and happy about it. So that was nice.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, my day went pretty well. 200 kilo deadlift for 3 reps, buzzing. Got a rep on the 90
That's
log,
it.
buzzing.
Yeah.
Looked like
It was a
everyone's.
nice rep as well. It looked solid.
It was good, wasn't it? Do you know what was really annoying?
Yeah.
Is I'd spent loads of time visualising getting that 90 kilo log, and I was like, you've got this. I was so calm and cool and collected at the beginning of that event, like really zoned in. And then I got the first rep and just got well overexcited, and my head went to absolute shit. I was just like, I couldn't concentrate on fucking anything, and then I just failed every single
Aye.
rep after that. I was like, wow, that was shit. So if I just kept my focus, I might have got another one out, but is what
Aye,
it is.
but
I
that's
only
not
wanted,
what you'd practiced, is it?
I only wanted one good one. I knew that would be good enough points, so that was all right. And then, yeah, the Dinnies were horrible. The nickel stonewalk, I think it was meant to be, that was
Yeah.
awful. And like people were absolutely rinsing me for my technique. My technique was the way it was because I'm like not broad. And I couldn't have them side by side because I smashed my legs together. And then my arms, like my shoulders aren't strong enough. So my arms were like twisting like that when I was
Yeah.
holding them side by side. So like I was going to pop my shoulders out the sockets as well. So I thought I'm going to have to just waddle. But I actually think it worked really well. If I'd trained that maybe a little bit more, I would have been able to finish that. But I just hadn't trained it because it's minging,
No. Was that a
which I
set
think.
distance then, or was it max distance in time?
No, it was 30 meters, but most people didn't finish it, like, because it was just too
Mm.
short of a time. It was only 60 seconds.
Yeah.
So that was a bit. but I mean, I came third, I think, so I'm not going to whinge about that. And then
That's not shabby, is it?
not shabby, not shabby. I think my worst placing was no, I didn't drop below third all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was
Good
seconds
going,
and
mate.
thirds, consistent. But then the sandbags actually really annoyed me because I didn't run between the 100 and the 100 shoulder and the 100 load, and then Leanne beat me by a second and a half on the load, even though she was behind
Oh,
me for the entire other part of the medley. So that's the second time this year that I've been pipped by like a final second to a medley that I was destined to win.
well, you mean you
So
just didn't run fast enough between them?
yeah, yeah. I
Right.
like instead of running, I walked, and then I spent maybe a second extra popping the bag up my body when I picked it up, so that I would be high enough for the load. Whereas Leanne just like absolutely mauled it up to her chest and then just ran with it.
Yeah.
So them little precious seconds I made errors on, which really annoyed
Yeah.
me because that's like it happened at Europe's where Sabrina got me by like a second on the final load, and then I've been done again now. So that's not going to happen again. Furious about that.
Like, come on, it's a race. We don't walk.
I know it's gonna feel like I wasn't. I don't think I was being slow. I think I was just taking it steady. And I think what I've learned is that in medleys, especially because I can keep a consistent pace, I actually need to speed up during the medley
Yeah.
because I think when you're the person who's behind the other person, like if you're watching someone and they're in front of you in the medley, you speed up, don't you? But if you're
Yeah, you
at
do.
the front, you don't think about it. You're just like going through the motions, aren't you? Like you did in training.
Mm.
And that's what I do. But then all of a sudden, at the final second, I'll be like, "Oh shit, what you doing here?" And like have to
Yeah.
fucking try and speed up. But by that point, it's already too late, isn't it? So
Mm.
I'm gonna start doing that in my training. I think though, when I train medleys, is like on the final bit, just like go balls to the wall, speed up. Like when you do a run
Yeah.
and you do like your fastest half mile or mile, last mile in's the fastest. That's what I'm going
Mm.
to start doing with medley training. I think, fuck all these people thinking they're going to get me at the last minute. You can all
Yeah,
fuck
good.
off. I'm sick of it.
Exactly.
And then it was throwing bags, and that was all right. I didn't get the 17 kilo, which was actually quite annoying because I thought I would finish that run. My fucking first four were really fast. I was like 19 seconds or something for the first four, which was
And
really
you've had
good for me.
17 in training, have you?
Yeah, I've hit it for singles. I'd not hit it for a run, but I think because I knew Rachel was so fast next to me, we both went for the 17 at the same time. And I thought, I ain't got time to fuck about with this. Like, I'm going to have to just send it and hope that this goes. And if it doesn't go, then, like, that's it, basically. So I just cashed all my chips and unfortunately fucking lost. But it was
Never
one of
mind.
them. I was like,
Somebody's got
fucking
to
hell,
lose.
somebody's
Yeah.
got to lose. But yeah, and then I think because I'd done it once and I knew I'd failed it, I thought even if I leave this now, like there's no point. It's not gonna change my placing because there's only two people who finished the run, so it made no difference at the end of the day.
No.
But yeah, well, apart from that, it was. I mean, I feel like I've been very blasé and like about that, but it was a good day. I did enjoy it
I
a
don't
lot.
think so. Like, yeah, exactly. I think just because we've already kind of spoken about it before now, so
Probably no one fucking cares, to be
not in so
honest.
much detail, but yeah. So
But yeah, it was
well done,
good.
Unbreakable. Well
Yeah,
done.
I'd say well done, Unbreakables
Hold it
again.
together.
It was a
Mm.
really good day. I very muchly enjoyed. We did get glass trophies, which is sad,
Mm.
but I
Oh,
also can't whinge about the only thing I like about glass trophies is that Rosie Abercrombie sins are transparent, so they might as well not exist, which I think is hilarious.
yeah.
And while I will whinge about the glass trophies, we did also get prize money, which I wasn't expecting. And none of us did expect until it was mentioned at the rules briefing on the morning. But
Yeah.
I know first place got 250 quid, second was 150. I'm not sure what third was, either 100 or 50 quid or whatever it was. But that was paid by 5 o'clock that evening as well.
That's even better. Wow. Way to
Yeah, like
go.
we'd got back to the Airbnb and we'd already been paid before we went out for tea. So like, I can't knock them for that either. And to be honest, I'd take a glass
No.
trophy if there's going to be prize money.
Well, that's
Much
just it. You don't want a fancy fucking trophy and be out
no
of
money.
pocket, do you?
I'd rather have money.
Yeah, same.
Much
For
rather
the
have
amount
the
of money
money.
that you all put into the sport, like the least they can do is give you a little cash prize to say well done.
100%. Well, even that, there
Mm,
was just, although it was like, well, it's not a small cash prize because any cash prize in my eyes is better than no cash prize. But yeah, for
yeah,
them to put that up, I think was really, really good. It wasn't expected, and I think it was a right little bonus, and bonus that I was paid nice and fast as well.
yeah.
So yeah, well done, Eddie and the
Well,
team. And the team were really nice all day as well. Very friendly, very like concise, not messing about. And like, you know, when you ask like, oh, like how long have we got for this event? They'd be like, right, you've probably got 10 minutes, but you just like, just be careful. We'll shout you if not. I don't think they hardly had to shout
mm,
any of us, to be fair. Like, we're all pretty on it.
yeah. There wasn't a huge amount of competitors there, though, was there?
Like 2025, I think there wasn't loads of
Yeah.
us. There was 7 in our category. And I think we're like 9 maybe in the 73s, but then
Mm,
5 or 6 in the 64s. So it wasn't a particularly big, which I think obviously made it easier to run smoother. But even that being said, it was very, very well run.
oh, it could have easily dragged on for fucking ages with
Absolutely.
minimal amounts of athletes, as many novice competitions tend to
Oh my god, 100%.
display.
Yeah. No, it was a bonus. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought I was going to hate it. I really did. Like I was like, nah,
Yeah.
not that bothered about this entire competition. And then when I got there, I actually had a really nice day. I loved it. It was really good fun. The expo was as expos are
Mm,
small,
not my cup of tea.
small, and just a lot of the same stuff there. Which
Yeah.
like, there's only so many sports bras and t-shirts with like some weird thing on the front that I can look at before I'm like. It was funny though because I'd gone and I was speaking to the applied nutrition people, and someone had come up to me and said like, "Well done for the day before." This was on the Sunday, and the guy who I was chatting to was obviously like an applied nutrition rep, and he was like, "Oh, like what did you do yesterday? Like, was that fun?" I was like, "No, it was just my mate, but like." This is a bit odd. I just do a bit of strongman. I came second at Brits. All right, what's your social media following? Do you think you'd like to be an applied nutrition rep? I was like,
Oh
nah.
God.
I was like, I think when you see my social media, you'll also say, nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not the PR dream we were hoping for. But also,
Not for us. She's
what
not
would you
for us.
what would you expect with a big tattoo on my head? Did you think I was going to be
Yeah,
normal?
exactly.
Clearly
No,
not.
far from it.
But that was quite funny. So
Captain Dodgy.
I declined my brand ambassadorship with Applied Nutrition before they could decline it.
Good. Well done.
I don't want to get let down. I'll let myself down. Thank you.
No. Sticking it to the man, making their
Hey,
decisions for them.
hell
So
yeah! I'm
what's
picky
next?
and
What's
choosy.
next for you then?
I've got Strongest in the North in 2 weeks, but that's just a bit of crack,
Mm,
bit of fun. We're
bit of
gonna be
dafting.
we'll be live streaming that as usual, so you can all tune in for that. It'd be terrible as usual. Well, actually, no, it might not be. I'm gonna try and set up an actual table this time and have a commentary thing. I mean, that doesn't mean that it
That'll
will
be
be
it.
better, but
Yeah.
we're going to
Just means
try
you'll be
and make.
sat down.
Well, no, I'm actually competing.
Oh, but you could sit down at the commentary table occasionally.
I'm going to do that as well, yeah, just to talk in between
Mm,
events and stuff. But we will only have one camera because, again, I'm running it from my phone, so no one get too
yeah.
excited. But that'll be a bit of good crack. And then there's the teams comp at Chaos at the end of the year. Does anyone
Mm.
take seriously apart from Josh? No. So
Josh and
that'll be
Will's mate.
on. And then I've got nothing until next year. Yay.
Whoa. So
So
basically, you've got stuff to do this year.
yeah, not proper like stuff though. I'm gonna take my time and build myself back up and try and get a bit of fire. And my plan is next year, because my only goals next year really is to win Europes. because I've got so close now. Like, I feel like next year is a really good chance to try and like get the title. And then I want to try and probably go to OSG Worlds and just see how I fare as an 82 there if I have a good year. And then the only other things that I would potentially, well, that I am going to do is the Irish and Scottish Strength Cup.
Cool.
Just because that was
There's
so
money in
much
those
fun.
ones, and they'll be fun.
Well, exactly. This is the thing. They're going to be good events because, like, just because of what they are. They're going to be in nice places. There's going to be a good opportunity for like promo, like pictures and stuff, and there's prize money. So I think we'll both of them. And
We
they're
like
like,
the money.
I just like money is the problem. So yeah, June. I think that's May and June. May and July, maybe. Yeah, May and July, I think it is for them too. So that'll like spread my year out a bit nicer instead of like fucking competing in February. Because I say it now, I'm not doing pathways next year. You can all get to fuck. Fuck them pathways.
You're out of UKNS now, are you?
I'm out of UKNS. However, I am still a natty. I am still a natty. Just to clear that up for everybody, I'm open and honest, mate. Obviously, I've got to be sensible, but like, yeah, I need to wait until I'm back on track. Like, I want my period back. I want some blood tests done. I want to make sure that I am like optimal health before I ever thought of ever being an enhanced athlete anywhere. But I can't do those things when I'm smashing myself into the ground competing all the time. So my plan is to take a step back, have a good off season, get everything on track, decide if I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do in terms of enhancements, and then make a plan moving forward for next year. Because I think it's probably the way I'm gonna go, but there's a lot of things that it depends on, doesn't it? I'm still on a risk reward. I'm a very nervous person at the best of times anyway. So, and I've already got a right temper. I don't need any more.
It is worrying.
So there's a few things to think of, but yeah, I definitely think like I've said this before, my biggest like weakness is my raw strength and my recovery. Everything else, when I've got it on point, is bang on. So the thing that's
drugs is the way to go.
Well, the one answer for both those problems is drugs. So I think it's going to be a sensible thing, but you'll know straight away I'm going to be absolute unit next year.
It'll be class.
So, yeah, it's going to be good. I'll be excited to see like how next year goes and see how far I can push myself, because I do think, and as well, like obviously I finished my degree this year, next year, but I'll be finished in like June, I think. So that then means as well, like I don't want to be competing in January, February when I've got like my dissertation and everything due in. Like it's just not viable for me at this time. At some point, my brain's going to explode from stress. So
yeah,
I thought,
priorities. You got them in the right order. Well done.
Yeah, get this degree out of the way. See how I go. Obviously, depending on jobs and stuff, will depend on whether I can get to Worlds. But I'd like to do OSG Worlds next year, especially if I can get a good prep at it. Like I reckon I can get top 10 if I was trying really, really hard. We'll see. But yeah, there's a lot going on, isn't there? A lot going on.
What else is going on, Becca?
What else is going on? Well, what else is going on is this weekend, Rogue, not my dog, the actual invitational. That were the first. This is the first year for the Strongwoman as well, isn't it? Very exciting. You've got quite a lot of clients
Really
doing
cool.
it.
No,
Have you? Just Donna. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, for some reason, I thought Claire was doing it. Claire should be doing
Claire's going. Claire's going to watch, but she's not been invited.
Just there as first reserve in the background, waiting. I'm here. I've got
Somebody's
my kit back.
Be there. I might take mine.
Just in case, you never know.
Yeah. I might be able to pick up one of the Inverstones.
I was just out, so I've been watching. Hello, Casey. Casey's just come to say hello. I was watching Chloe's prediction video, so I don't want to do predictions. I mean, you can if you want, but I don't because I feel like
I think
there's.
it's an impossible task, to be honest.
I agree. I was having a look, so let me find the lineup for the women. So there's Angelica Jardine who won the Arnolds, didn't she?
Yeah.
And she, I feel like I know she obviously hasn't come out of nowhere because I hate it when people say that about people. But, she was very much sort of the unknown entity, I feel like, at the
Mm.
Arnolds because, I think she won America's Strongest Woman.
You're asking the wrong person, but I can pretend and say, yeah, I know
But I,
all about that.
I think that's how she'd got the invite for the Arnolds Pro.
Yeah.
And obviously she then absolutely took it by storm. We've got
Mm.
Andrew Thompson, Olga, we've got Sam Bellevue, Melissa Peacock, Donna Moore, Inez, Lucy Underdown, Hannah Lindsay, Rebecca Roberts. That's everybody in it.
Yeah. Quite a few from the UK, which is really nice.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah,
Is
I
there not
think,
Laura Baxter in there? Is there not a Scot in
no,
there?
there isn't.
Controversial.
The drama. Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Brits.
Mm.
Obviously, Melissa's Canadian, so you can't count her as an American, can you? But Inez,
No,
Hannah.
because Americans would hate that and Canadians would too.
Well, Sam's a Canadian as well, isn't she? Sam
Mm.
Bellevue.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 Canadians, and then 1, 2, 3 4 Americans if you count Olga. Technically American.
I think we can count Olga as an American.
Well,
She's
she lives in
Ukrainian
America.
as fuck.
She lives in America, but yeah, 2
Okay.
Canadians. So yeah, no Scottish women this year.
Mm.
Which, to be honest, I think really the only person that I might shoot myself in the foot. Maybe a lot of angry Scottish people here, but I think really the only person that would be deserved of an invite would be Laura Baxter
Yeah.
because she was good at Brits. But if you're working off of previous comps, she has only done Brits this
Yeah.
year, hasn't she? So in my mind, probably not enough to warrant a Rogue invite.
Not enough to stand out to Rogue because they're looking for, national champions, aren't they? Or
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe if she'd done
at least top three.
a couple of other things this year. She'd done
Mm.
Scotland's Strongest Woman and stuff like that, hasn't she? But if she'd done maybe Europe's or something, that might
Mm.
have solidified a bit of a better
Aye.
place for her. But I think I assume they've been very picky this year, with it being the first year.
Mm. I think it's been a really good selection, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I do.
I don't think I would change it at all. They are the cream of the crop. Maybe Nadia would I have put her in the lineup, but
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
I agree. I think everyone who is there deserves to be there, and I don't think there's anyone
Absolutely.
this year who I'd be like, oh, I can't believe they've missed this person out.
Yeah. And there's
I feel
nobody in that lineup that I think, what a waste of a space.
absolutely not. No, it's a very
Not that I
well
would
picked
ever think
lineup.
that. That's really mean, but yeah.
Why are you here?
I'd never say it
No,
out loud.
I would. Yes, you would.
I know
You'd
it
say it
would,
out
yeah.
loud, and then I'd cut it out of this podcast so that we didn't get
Yeah,
cancelled.
yeah.
But
Good, thank you.
I think that's I think it's a really good strong lineup and one of the biggest prize pots that we've ever seen in strong women.
It's the biggest prize pot, mate. The
Yeah,
biggest prize money that's ever been available to women in this sport, and it is exactly the same as the men are getting offered. So in every placing, the money is exactly the same on the men's side and the women's side, which is unheard of. This has never
yeah.
happened before. Like that
No,
is life-changing money for one of those women. They're going to go home with a butt ton of money that they'll
yeah,
be able to pay off their mortgage with. They'll be able to buy a reliable car. They might be able to take their family on holiday, and then they'll be able to have
yeah,
some money in a savings pot that they could probably invest as well
Yeah,
and make money off of. Like that's how it should be. Oh my God,
I
it
know.
should be that way.
It feels like it's been a long time coming, but it's still like exciting that it's actually here now. And like that's the president, that's what's been set now. So it can't go
Mm,
backwards. And I think I'm really hopeful that like the live stream and the ticket sales and everything go the way that we want it to go, because I think it deserves to be like that. I know obviously they've done a bit of a documentary following Angelica to it, which I
mm,
think is really cool. And I think that's where a lot of the money in the promo needs to be, in like following the athletes and like sort of doing a deep dive into these athletes, because loads of these people are so interesting and like they've got such interesting lives. Like we do care about them obviously doing the actual competition, but watching them get to that point I think is really interesting. Like that
mm.
would be where your Netflix documentary series, like you build up to that point. You know, like Simone Biles had hers on Netflix of building up to the Olympics. Like
Yeah,
that's what gets people interested and invested in the sport, I think.
I would agree
So
with
it's
that
cool
massively.
to see Rogue trying to do that, which is really cool.
Yeah,
And like I think even like last place, isn't last place like 5 grand or something? Like you just
yeah,
for showing up, you get like five
yeah.
grand. Fucking hell.
That's the way it should be. And everything's paid for, like the travel and accommodations all sorted. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's class. Rogue know how to do that.
I'd let that
For their
yoke crush
athletes.
me for five
Me
grand.
too. Me too.
I'd try all them
Never
events
mind.
for 5 grand just to
So
watch me die.
let's talk about the events then.
Well, I've got the events, but I don't have the weights because no, they've been so shifty with them. You
Well,
will
I'll
though,
bring up
because
Donna's True Coach and I'll let you know the weights if I've got them. Uh,
tell everyone. Well, actually, it doesn't matter what she's been training now. Everyone's too late. Won't make any difference
yeah,
to no one's training
no, it
plans.
makes no difference. This is taper week, so
I've got insider info. How's Don feeling?
good, really positive. She's excited, which is really nice. Because I guess anybody who's been doing the sport as long as she has, it's difficult to find that joy and that excitement in competitions when you're just doing the same thing over and over again. But I think it reinforces her own like self-worth when she gets
Yeah,
these invites to these top class competitions because she's the fucking oracle, you know?
yeah,
There's nobody on earth like her. She's without a doubt paved the way for strong woman now. I know there's been others in the
absolutely.
past that have paved the way for her. Should I say generation? That sounds really rude, but she's old as fuck. Um, she's not.
Sorry, Donna.
She's not. But she's been doing it for like over a decade, you know,
Yeah,
and she is the one that people look up to and admire, and everybody who's in the sport knows her name.
yeah,
Um, so rightly so, she deserved that invite, and you know she's put an awful lot of effort into this prep. She's obviously gone up a little bit of body weight because it's an open weight competition. She wants to have a real good bash at some of the prize money, and
yeah,
I think on an absolutely like on a great day, and she fucking has them, mate. I think that there's a good chance that she's going to be in that top three
yeah. I do. I thought
because
this as
there's a lot
well.
of dynamic events on there, and she's very
Yeah,
good at that. She's very good at like doing these weird athletic strongman
yeah.
events.
She's like
The fucking
adaptable, isn't she?
stones. She's very adaptable. Yeah. You know what may she be let down on? The logs canny heavy. So
Yeah.
you know, going
I
from
think the log's heavy
farmers to
for
the log.
everybody, though.
Yeah. And for her current max strength with overhead, um, if if she believes she can fucking do it, she can get a rep on that. More than one
Yeah,
rep, I don't know. But I think a lot of people are going to have to be very tactful with that. Even people who are good at farmers and log as standalone exercises, you can't rely on that because there's the
no,
competition setting that you can't um, manipulate and you can't control it. You know, you
yeah,
don't know how up or down you're going to feel on the day. Something could throw
yeah,
you off, but also like let's be honest, you can't just run straight into a log and expect a heavy-arsed fucking log to go seamlessly, can you? After a heavy
Absolutely
forms as
not.
well.
No, absolutely not.
Um,
No. Well,
but the
so
Stone series, she's Queen of the Stones, and
yeah,
the
I
dead,
think she'll be
the
in the
death.
top three for that.
She's had the biggest deadlift on a normal bar without a suit on that she's ever had, so there is that as
Yeah,
well. Just this last week. The press medley, she is a good presser, and certainly that dumbbell is not beyond her because she has one of the best dumbbell presses in the world.
yeah,
Um, so if she can get past that, I think she will finish the press medley. Um,
yeah,
York into power stairs. The York is not that heavy for an
yeah.
open weight competition, but then adding 12 steps
Is a lot.
afterwards is awful. Like,
How long
imagine
is
what
that
your back
event?
and your legs feel like. I think the time limit is like 90 seconds or something, but in practice we've done it, and we've done it with 9 steps, not 12.
Yeah,
And with competition weight on the yoke, with competition weight on the stairs, and
yeah.
she's fine. Like, it's well under a
Within the
minute.
limit. That's
Well
wild.
under.
That.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So a fast York carry, like, Andrea's going to be a good one for that. Mel
Yeah,
Peacock's really good at York as well, isn't she? But
yeah,
are they going to be able to deal with the steps as rapidly as they could with the York? Maybe going too fast
yeah.
with the York might throw them off for the stairs. There's a lot of room for error here because there's
I
so
think
many
this is
different disciplines.
Yeah, I think this is the exciting thing about it because I know it's just a lot of different dynamic events, but I think that's because it's like that. I don't feel like there's any clear like top three in this, especially
No.
with the lineup that there is, because there is. It's gonna favor, like Chloe had said in her predictions, it is gonna favor the big presses, but
Mm,
that being said, a lot of these presses and it's not just like log for reps or like axle for reps. You got to do something before you press, like the
mm,
farmers into log. So if
yeah.
you're really good at pressing, but then you're shit at your moving, don't matter how good
Mm.
you are at pressing, you're not going to get there, are you?
No, no, exactly. Like, think about Inez at the Arnolds. Like, she absolutely smashed her face open on the farmers,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she's got to do
yeah,
farmers with that fear under the
yeah.
pressure of the audience and the live stream, and then she's got to go
Absolutely.
into a comfortable event for her. Like, that's a comfortable weight on the log for her.
Yeah,
But to do it after her nemesis,
yeah. Is that going to psych her out? Yeah. No, I
maybe.
think so. And I think with like even like the circus medley, because the first implement's a kettlebell, like it's
Yeah,
not like that's it's more like you're gonna have to be good at weird strongman events than just a
yeah.
general good presser.
And it's that adaptability, isn't it? So I
Yeah,
think Angelica has this trait very, like,
yeah,
well ingrained in her. As we saw at the Arnold, she was very quick to, like, nobody has been able to practice on any of the implements before the day. There were natural
no,
stones, but she just figured it out, and you could see her figuring it out, and she
yeah,
nailed it. And she was also really good at the Dinny carry as well, wasn't she? So
yeah.
she's
She
good at
was,
those
yeah,
awkward fucking things, and
yeah,
just working it out. But Donna's also really good at working, like, on in the moment problem solving. So and so many other athletes are as well. Like, nobody's gonna have got their hands on the weird dumbbell before. It's like a circus dumbbell, but it's not. It's
yeah.
stubby and a shorter handle. Nobody's going to have touched the kettlebell before. And then just to
No,
expect, because you're a good overhead presser with an axle, to expect 250 pounds to go at the end of fucking about and finding out on a kettlebell and dumbbell you've never touched before. You just don't
yeah,
know, do you? Because, like you said,
nah.
it all depends on how it went before that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's going to be so exciting. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, me
And
too, man.
free live stream. Whoop whoop. That's what we like to hear.
Absolutely, we do like that. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
so
mind
that's
paying if there's a lot of people that I want to see. That's great. I don't
yeah,
mind paying for it, but I don't mind paying for it so that the money goes to a big athlete prize pot, but here they're getting a
Absolutely.
huge, colossally big prize pot, and the live
Yeah.
stream's free. So thank you, Rogue. Well done.
Win-win. Thank you, Rogue.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I agree. It starts, well, for anyone who's interested, the women start at 10 o'clock on Friday. I assume it's on YouTube because that would be where I would
yeah,
assume it would be. But yeah, that's the first event starting at 10 o'clock on Friday. I've got 3 events on the Friday, 3 events on the Saturday. Well, 4 if you
yeah.
include the award ceremony. So yeah, it's going to be super exciting. I can't wait. And you're going down there to watch in person? Person?
It's funny that phrase, isn't it? Because Aberdeen's very, very up, not down. But
I always get that wrong. Though. I always say going down,
yeah.
no matter where I am in the world. Could be at the North
I
Pole,
think I
well,
do
South
have to
Pole.
go a bit south to get up there because I'll be going over to Glasgow
I've got no
just because
idea where
it's the
Aberdeen is.
fastest route. Well, it's on the east coast, so I'm going west to go east. It makes sense if you know the roads up the east coast of Scotland. It's not good, so
But nah,
not
it's
good.
gonna be. I'm excited. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited for everyone to win lots of money,
Yeah,
and it'll be
bitch.
exciting as well to see how it goes and what everyone thinks about it, and then what they do next year as well.
Mm,
Because I think
yeah,
it's going to
damn right.
stay as an invitational for at least a good few years. I don't think they're going to make a pathway for it, but
No.
it would. It's a cool point now to look at and go, there's an option. I wonder who's on their board who's deciding who to pick.
I would hope that what she called Jan Todd is pulling
Oh yeah, it'd be
a
Jan
few
Todd, wouldn't it?
strings. So I mean, it might be. She might have fuck all to do with it. I know Steve Slater has got a little bit of, well, he's providing some of the equipment,
Yeah,
um, and he's involved with the Arnolds as well. So maybe they are just working with the people that pick the cream of the
yeah,
crop for the Arnolds, because that would make sense. They know the sport, Rogue's fucking
yeah.
CrossFit, innit? What do they know? Lol. But
Just
no, it's
CrossFit
exciting.
things.
Yeah.
Nah, it's going to be good. They've got any other predictions? Anything else you want to share about that?
I don't think so. Like, it's too hard to call, but I fuck that thumbs up. I hate that
I think
bubble.
it's when you
Stop
do a
doing that.
thumbs up, innit?
I
What
didn't
can
even do it. I put my hands on my shoulder. Dick.
it won't get my thumbs.
WhatsApp does like fireworks behind you. Oh my God, it's doing it.
Why do I not have this?
You have to do double thumbs up
You're just getting thumbs up. I'm not getting no fireworks. Oh,
because you
fuck
look
off.
like a potato. There's no signal. It's like, what are you trying to do? What are you signaling at us?
To be
Belter.
fair, mine. I'm currently looking at how much it's uploaded, like because it's meant to continuously upload the podcast, so that when you get to the end, it's just done, like easy
Yeah,
peasy. Yours is at
yeah.
99%, and mine's at 50. It's going really well.
Not, it's not the same, is it? It's not the same
My
at all.
internet's like,
Um,
fuck this shit, boys.
yeah. Oh dear. Well, we better give it a helping hand. I don't know. I don't want to call any predictions. I would absolutely love Donna to win it because she is the absolute OG. Um,
Absolutely.
but I want to say like Olga and Inez just because of their
I think it's
craziness. Like
yeah,
it
I'd
suits their
agree.
crazy.
I think it's just really wide open, isn't it? If everyone is on their absolute top form, I don't really see anyone not being able to win it. Do you know what I mean?
No, no,
Like
no.
I think everyone in that lineup has the ability to be in that top 3. There's
mm,
gonna obviously you're always got like Rebecca Roberts, Lucy Underdown, Inez because they're your biggest competitors. So they've got the advantage of being tall and having that bit of extra weight on.
yeah.
But that being said, just those events are just all over the shop, aren't they?
They're fucking insane. They're off the tits. And it will literally be a case of what happens with any competition, and it couldn't be more true than now. Who doesn't fuck up,
Yeah,
yeah? Or who fucks up the least?
yeah,
It's as simple as that. Who is going to fuck up the least? They're probably
yeah,
going to win, aren't they?
100%. Yeah, I
Ah.
agree. So that's our advice for you guys doing the Rogue: don't fuck up. You heard it here first.
Professionals, we know what we're talking about.
Me and Jenny, we are professional strong women athletes, and we know
Yeah,
the
yeah,
main thing is to not fuck up.
yeah.
Anyway, that was pretty good. Well, we've done quite a lot of strongman talk there. We've done over an hour of strongman talk, which is a lot for us.
I think because we've had a break from it for a little while.
Yeah, to be fair, we've probably come back
Mm.
round to it, haven't we, where we're actually enjoying it now. It'll be good to do a follow-up to this one next week where we can talk about what
Yeah.
actually happened at Rogue, and then we'll be like, I knew that was going to happen. And when we look back, we'll be like, no, we didn't. Fucking full of shit.
Oh, never mind.
But anyway, right, well, we'll do a quick, I'm not going to do a quick break on here. I'm just going to put a little marker so that I can add our
Mhm.
Silly Goose song in. Not sure if I can or not. If I can't, then you're not going to be able to listen to it. If I can, great.
Silly goose. It's silly goose time where our lips get loose and our minds run free. Silly goose. It's silly goose time where we chat a load of shit that's of absolutely no use. It's silly goose time.
So have you got anything to bring to Silly Goose today? I have a few.
Let's
I'll
go with
pick one.
yours because I am not prepared.
You're not so silly goosed out. Well, my silly gooses are actually from the fact that I had a lot to talk about this weekend at Brits and didn't win an event, so therefore did not get an interview. So therefore wasn't able to be on the live
Oh,
stream at all. Yeah, very sad.
that's
My
really
shine
sad.
wasn't allowed to show off my shining personality, so I've saved them for now instead. So I'll keep them for the next few weeks. But one of my main
Lucky
things
us.
was, lucky us, we get the good content, the content that I come up with, back where it's deservedly, back in Strongwoman Highs, where it's
Oh yeah.
born. So one of the questions that I got asked for information on the live stream, which I don't think they brought up, so I will bring it up now, is what's your goal in life? What's your main goal? My main goal was to get the hedgehog back for Hedgehog Bakery because that was stolen.
Yeah.
But that was then quickly returned within about 24 hours, so that died a death really fast. But my other one was that I would love to know where the rumour that a swan could break your arm started from. Because everyone says that, don't they? Whenever you talk about swans, there'll be somebody that goes, do you know what? A swan's wing's really strong, it can break your arm. How does somebody know that? Where's that come from? Who got their arm
What
broken by a fucking swan? That's what I want to know.
what wiener has gone and done that?
Because I feel like a swan would have to be trying fucking well hard to break my arm. I don't think a swan could break my arm. Not a chance. Are you Googling it?
AI says AI. It's
AI,
unlikely
bro.
that a swan. Yeah, yeah. No, no. It says it's unlikely that a swan will break your arm. Swans' wing bones are smaller, thinner, and more hollow than human bones. Strength. Swans are built for lightness rather than stolidity, and their bones aren't heavy enough to cause serious harm. History.
Exactly.
There are no recorded attacks on humans by swans in the 600-year history of the Abbotsbury Swannery in Dorset. Okay?
But that's just one swannery, though. Because I was going to say,
Okay.
swans surely have been about longer than 600 years.
Yeah. But this
Because
is
I
like when
don't think.
records began, maybe? When they started making records about swan attacks?
But, like, that's a story, that, isn't it? How many times have you heard that
Yeah.
someone say, oh, watch out for them swans will break your arm? Ow. Where have you come up with that? So if what I would like is us to be able to follow this back and find out where this came from. Who told us originally that swans would break your arm?
I'm just going to put this out there, but I think that it's come from Amy's mum, Audrey. I think she said that because she
Audrey.
makes shit up. Yeah. Audrey has said that. And she's like, you have to break your eggshell when you're eating dippy eggs to let the devil out. Like, what?
I've heard that
There's
one
no devil
before
in
as well,
my
to be
egg.
fair.
She's
No.
full of shit. She's absolutely full of shit. Yeah, don't believe Audrey.
So it's Audrey. We're blaming Audrey then for telling us that swans could break your arm.
Yeah, because she's tiny anyway and very frail, and she's smoked a lot of her life, so she probably got
Well, maybe a swan
osteoporosis,
could
so it could probably
break
break
her
her
arm.
arm. Yeah,
I just feel like
I
why would
can't
they
clarify
even?
this.
Who would even come up with this? Because what are they trying to do? Make us afraid of swans?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe
What's the
it's
reason?
a
Was it to
message
keep
from
us
the
away
royal
from
family.
swans?
Yeah,
Well, no,
yeah, I
because you
think
can
so.
get jail time if you kill a swan.
Mm.
Because all the swans, I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but all swans belong to the Queen.
She's dead.
Yeah. Oh shit, the King then.
The new queen. Or does it still belong to the queen? Is it a queen thing, or is it the head monarch?
Well, now I don't know. I knew that I can't check because my internet will just turn this fucking podcast off if I check. So I'll just have to speculate instead. Use the AI of my brain. But no, I think the swans will belong to the king. He'll have surely inherited them when the queen died. Bad times that I didn't remember the queen had died. That was a while ago, wasn't it? Oopsie.
Yeah, bless her. The king is the owner of some swans, but not all of them.
Who owns the rest of them then? I thought all swans belonged to the royal family because that's why you
It
can't kill them.
comes back to Abbotsbury Swannery.
Oh, fucking hell, they're big on their swans,
They
aren't they?
own some. Yeah.
Well, I wonder if they bought
Um,
them off the king.
maybe. Who
I wonder
knows? Really
how much a
weird.
swan would cost. How much do you think it would cost
I
to
don't
buy
know
a
how.
swan?
Like, what?
Where would you buy one from?
What fucking big-headed arsehole thinks that they own an entire species?
Right, and also, who decided that the royal family can own swans? Like, who was the one that went?
Thought that the royal family
Yeah,
could
mine.
own all over the land in Britain.
Well, I just think it's
They're just making sure.
atrocious.
Oh, you can't own Earth.
Give the
It's the
swans.
ground.
I
Give the
think give the
swans
swans
back.
back to the people. Give the swans back to the people. We deserve them.
Let them go.
We know they
Fucking
won't break our
arseholes.
arms. We know they won't
No,
break our arms because they can't. Because they've got bird
full of shit.
bones.
Yeah,
We want them back.
I'll beat one in a fight. Give me a swan.
I'd beat a swan in a fight, I reckon.
You could kick it though, couldn't you? And stun it, and then all you've got to do is just sit on it after that.
I tell you
I'm
what,
bigger
though,
than a
I
swan.
don't want it to bite me though, because they've got little
No,
teeth,
like
haven't they?
kick it, and then its head goes rah, and then you like grab its neck right at the
Like
top
a
of its head.
snake.
Yeah, and then you just sit on its back and pin its head to the floor like a dog.
Ride it round.
Yeah.
I think you get
I
jail
don't
time
wish
for that.
violence on swans. I think so, yeah.
I don't wish violence on swans, and I feel like the only person who's made that rumour about them breaking our arms wants us to be scared of them. And I think there's no
Yeah.
reason to be scared of swans. They're not real anyway, so.
Oh, the government
Stupid.
spies.
Stupid fucking
Shit.
swans. But yeah, if anyone has any
Ridiculous.
more information about the swans breaking your arms or why the king owns them all, or I mean any other swan facts, to be honest, I'm in a bit of a swan thing at the moment.
Okay, so we're looking for swan facts. Good.
Send
I'm
me
also
your
curious.
swan facts. Yeah, we want more swan facts. And also, if anyone else has any interesting silly gooses, I have a couple that I'm saving. Actually, no, this one's quite. We'll do a quick one because this one's actually relevant to the time of year. On the similar, well, it's not really similar to the swan thing at all, but why are pumpkins the vegetable of Halloween? At what
That's a
point
good
did someone
question, isn't it?
say, let's scoop the insides out of that, carve a scary face on it, put tea light in it and go, yep, it's Halloween now. And that is a Halloween vegetable. I understand that they're seasonal, so they're going to come out at a certain time of year, but why pumpkins for Halloween?
What other vegetables are seasonal right now? Sprouts? You could carve a
Sprouts?
sprout.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in the olden days when we used to get frosts in October, parsnips would have been seasonal.
A
But you've
Halloween
got to wait.
parsnip. Yeah.
You've got to wait for the thing. Turnips are they seasonal now? I feel like you can do a turnip. You can scoop a turnip out. But yeah, I just don't understand why pumpkins got all the glory.
I guess they're big, aren't they? They're big, and it's an American thing. Pumpkin's American, is that where they've come from?
I don't know. I don't know the origins of pumpkins either.
I'm
Where
going to
did
Google it.
pumpkins come from? But yeah, I just think it's a bit like everyone's just
North
sort of
and
gone,
South
yeah.
America.
Maybe it is. Maybe it was the Americans' fault then.
Mm.
They've made us too focused on pumpkins for
Why are
October.
pumpkins the vegetable of Halloween?
I'm not sure if they're a vegetable, are they? Are they classed as a squash?
Well, I would have called that a vegetable.
Yeah, I would have called it, though. That's why I did call it a vegetable. But, buzzing. I've just got my clearance for my ethics. You can't see that.
It wasn't the fucking.
Hell,
Oh, have you? Well done. It wasn't the Americans.
you.
AI says, according to AI, pumpkins became associated with Halloween because fucking Irish immigrants brought the tradition of carving scary faces into vegetables to the United States, where pumpkins were more common and easier to carve. And I'll say it again, Audrey, it was you, wasn't it? Because you're
Is
from
she
Ireland.
Irish? It's Audrey again. Fucking Audrey, man. You're the one that's made pumpkins the thing. Actually, no, you're the one that's
It's
made
weird, isn't she?
carving vegetables a thing. But
Being scared of a vegetable.
who came up with
Pumpkins
carving
are
vegetables as
delicious.
well? That's what I want to know. Like back in the olden days when food was scarce, who was like, let's carve these vegetables up instead of
Yeah, why would
eating
you
them?
waste a vegetable?
I agree. Do you know what? I can't carve a pumpkin up. A pumpkin? Pumpkin? I can't carve a pumpkin up because I just like eating them too much. I feel like it's a waste.
They're so tasty.
So tasty.
Like,
I keep
I'm
mine for
gonna put it
ages.
out there, but I think that a roast pumpkin is better than a roast potato.
Ooh, I feel like that was a controversial opinion. That
It's very controversial, but there's the colour. The colour does it for me. I like the orange and the charred bits around the edges. It tastes
yeah,
caramelly when you get it
yeah,
right. It's so
but
good,
they're never
man.
that crispy. They're never that crispy though.
But it's also really like a lot lower calories as well. So you've got that piece
Which
of
always
bread.
makes things worse.
It doesn't at all.
It does. I had some
No.
lentil and bacon soup today, and it looked like baby food. And you know when you cook something, you're like,
But it was
"Fuck, I
nice
shouldn't have done
though.
it." It was delicious. I just had to shut my eyes
Mm,
when I was eating it.
yeah. Ugh.
But it was just looking gross. I just like the look. If all soups tasted different but looked like tomato soup, I'd be fine. Me.
Did you blend it? Was it a blended soup?
It was just out of a tin, but it was just a bit lumpy and baby foody.
Uh, hmm. What
Like when
brand
you
was
get,
it?
it was Heinz. I paid big money for
Oh,
it. Paid big
oh,
money for
good.
big soup. But yeah, it was just looked like baby food. When I got out of the tin, I
Uh,
thought, I'm not going to eat this, but I did. I just shut my eyes.
but did you cook it? Please tell me you cooked it, because it sounds like you just poured it out of the tin in a big globule and then
No,
thought, it looks minging that, and then
no,
ate
I
it and was
cooked it.
like, it's okay.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I
Cold
cooked it,
globular slew. Good.
and I made some cheese on toast to go with it because I'm not dieting anymore
Oh,
now. Yeah,
yeah, nice. Excellent.
yeah, it saved
Big
it.
into
But
bread at the moment.
oh, me too. How good's bread?
Mm. I love bread so much.
Me too. I think
Oh, it's
that's the one
an
thing when I have to
excellent
cook
poverty
carbs.
food.
Yeah, it's just like you just do everything with bread, can't you? Every meal should revolve around bread in my eyes. Bread or
Mm, I
potatoes.
think so. I think so. Sandwiches, you can dip it in stuff. You can make all sorts of different kinds of sandwiches. You can roast stuff on it, use it as like a little pizza base kind of guy. You can make it into a dessert.
Yeah,
It's so
all
versatile.
wins.
Dippy eggs and soldiers, though, like there is no finer job for the sliced white than being a soldier for some dippy eggs with runny yolks.
Cheese toasty.
I'm a bit of a traditionalist, I'm afraid. And
No,
that
I
just
love a
makes me
cheese
feel
toast.
uncomfortable.
Nah, cheese toasty, but made in a
Hey,
toasty maker, where it
but
like
that's
makes the bread
different. Are you
crispy.
talking about, I thought you might have been implying that you were going to dip cheese toasty into your boiled egg.
Well, I mean, I would do that, yeah.
Because that would be weird, mate. But cheese
Would it?
toasties are fucking excellent.
Tell you what, a cheese toasty dipped into a goose egg, ultimate food.
It would fit in one of them as well. You wouldn't
Exactly.
even have
Tell
to
you,
cut it into soldiers.
do you know what I think would be the hardest thing though? Is trying to get the top off a cooked goose egg, like the actual shell, because them shells are hard as fuck, like cement.
Okay, so what we need is one of them little quail egg scissors, but for a
But
goose
massive.
egg. Yeah.
I think you'd need a Dremel to like just drill like with one of them cutting discs on it, cut the top off
Yeah.
it.
So you
Be
need to
very
take it
intense
into the
breakfast.
workshop to
just
remove the
work,
top.
I'm just working on my egg, don't mind me. But anyway, well, I think that was a good silly goose. I got them two. They were. I was going to talk about on the live stream if anyone was wondering, and I didn't get my chance. So I feel like Chloe, as a commentator, there would have been really sad about that.
Yeah, never mind. You'll have to disappoint her another time.
Damn, I'll have to save up the ones for next time. Oh well, but anyway, that's been a good one. I think we'll leave the podcast there. We've done a lot of talking and actually about Strongman this time, which is great.
Weird. Really
Right.
weird.
Right, well, don't leave this room yet because we need to wait for it to upload. But I'm going to finish the recording here. See you all on the flippity flip side.
See ya.
Ah!